All right, thanks, guys. Got some lines and personal leans out for Wednesday's NBA, college basketball, and NHL action. We actually have a spring training game going on right now in Japan. I was very surprised to see live baseball when I got up at 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time this morning. Man, work sucks. I'll tell you, like, working in the real world sucks. It's horrible. I'm like one of those typical millennials. I fall into that category, unfortunately. And I don't think I ever had a job that I loved. Horrible. Work sucks. That's why they call it work. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into some. There's my pity party for the day. But I'm sure a lot of you out there can relate. But let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to begin with the Bucks at the Cavaliers. 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Cleveland. Now, we have a whole bunch of guys on the injury report in this game. Gasol, Antetokounmpo, Brown, all questionable for Milwaukee. Brogdon still out indefinitely as well, so they're going to look to get him back within the next couple weeks. I think they're going to need him as well as Milwaukee. A lot of what Brogdon does, I think, falls under the radar because of the Greek Freak, but Brogdon, a key player for the success of the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, on the other side, we have Love, Thompson, Dellavedova, Larry Nance Jr., all questionable for the Cavs, and Henson is still out indefinitely for them. No line for this game. I don't know how they could make a line for this game, and of course, depending on who's in or out for this one, I don't know how you would cap it. But anyway, give or take, a couple of guys I'm guessing will play and won't play. I'm thinking Milwaukee will get the job done. I'm thinking maybe by 7 points. If I had to predict a score, which is completely asinine, I'll go Milwaukee 111, Cleveland 104 in that matchup there. Of course, I have no idea who's playing tonight. But anyway, let's go ahead and slide into another game where we know exactly what's going on. And that's going to be Boston at Philadelphia, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off at the Wells Fargo Center. The Sixers open the betting as the 4-point favorite, total at 225.5. And since those markets opened this one up, we're seeing a fade of Philadelphia when it comes to the spread. I don't think I'm really surprised about that, as I think Boston sees a lot of action, especially when playing Philly. Boston's been very good against Philadelphia over the past couple of seasons. We're seeing movement upward on the total as well. That moved up to 226. So once again, the Sixers open -4, down to -3. Total open 225.5, up to 226. 51% are leading Boston, 52% shaded toward the under. Right now, the Celtics are +120 on the money line. Gordon Hayward is doubtful for tonight's action for Boston. The Celtics have also failed to cover the spread in their last 4 straight. They're also 2-4 ATS in their last 6 on the road. Boston covers just 25% of their games that tipped off at the current point spread. They also rank 24th in road offensive rebounding. Now, Philadelphia is on a nice little 5-game winning streak, 5-0 straight up in their last 5. They also rank first in the NBA in defending the 3-ball. When it comes to the total, Philly 7-3 to the under in their last 10. Boston 6-4 to the under in their last 10 themselves. So with all that in mind, I'm going to lean toward the chalk in this one. Give me Philadelphia -3 and the under 226 in that matchup there. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to quickly welcome you to the show. Got some lines and personal leans out for Wednesday's NBA, college basketball, and NHL action. It is hump day. We're halfway there, and man, does work suck. Work sucks. I hate work. For those guys who are like doing this for a living, God bless you, man. I would love to be doing that. But no, I gotta work like a pleb. But we're all in this together because we all gotta work. And it sucks. We all hate it. I'm dreading it today. But anyway, before I go ahead and move on, just want to quickly remind you about my website. That's patreon.com/BrockPage. Doing pretty good in our in our board member plays right now. And of course, that's our most expensive tier that we offer. We do offer memberships that begin at just $1.99 per month. There's also plenty of free content there as well. So please feel free to hit that pause button right now. Open up your browser Just type in patreon.com/BrockPage. It'll only take you a couple of seconds just to check it out. Link is in the description section below. Just hit the link. It'll take you right there. And of course, if you're a current patron of mine and you're watching me right now, I simply cannot thank you enough. It's great to connect with you each and every day, and you most certainly make it all worth it. All right, let's go ahead and slide back into some more lines and personal leans. All starts Eastern Standard Time, and on deck we've got the Pelicans at the Magic, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Orlando. The Magic open -6, total 225.5. We're seeing movement upward on the spread and downward on the total. Orlando's now 6.5, total down to 225. So once again, the Magic opened 6, up to -6.5, total open 225.5, down to 225 even. 54% of the consensus is leaning toward Orlando, 52% shaded toward the over. The Pelicans are plus 235 on the money line. Now, Orlando's failed to cover in 5 out of their last 7 games. They're also covering just 14% of their games that tipped off at the current point spread. Orlando ranks 26th in the NBA in scoring, and they are 23rd in offensive field goal percentage. They're shooting just 44% in that category there. Now, the Pels, on the other side, they're 5-3 against the spread in their games that tipped off at the current number. They rank 3rd in road offensive scoring and 3rd in road offensive rebounding. Their offense is also averaging 48% shooting from the field when traveling. Now, total-wise, New Orleans is 9-1 to the under in their last 10, taking on Orlando. The Magic are 8-2 to the under in their last 10 themselves. Give me the Pels plus 6.5 on the road and the under 225 in that matchup there. Next game, Jazz, Knicks, 7:30 Eastern tip-off at Madison Square Garden. The Jazz open 11.5, total 211. We're seeing movement upward on both the spread and the total in that matchup there. Utah all the way up to 12.5, total 211 and a hook. So once again, Utah opened 11.5 up to -12.5. Total open 211 up to 211 and a hook. 67% is shaded toward Utah, 66% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Knicks are plus 665 on the money line. Favors is probable for the Jazz. Vonleh is doubtful for the Knicks. And Dennis Smith Jr. Out for the Knicks tonight. The Knicks have successfully covered in 2 out of their last 4, and they are 10-7 against the spread at the current number. Meanwhile, Utah on their side of things, they rank 20th in offensive scoring, 21st in three-point shooting, and 26th from the stripe. Now, total-wise, the Knicks are 2-0 to the over in their last couple of games. Give me the New York Knicks plus 12.5, getting the job done at home. And the over, 211 and a hook in that matchup there. Next game, Wizards, Bulls, 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Chicago. The Bulls open -2, total 234.5. And since that one opened up, we're seeing money on Washington. We're seeing money on the under. Right now, the Wizards are 2.5, total moved down to 233. So once again, the Wizards open 2, up to -2.5, total open 234.5, down to 233. 85% are leaning Washington, 77% shaded toward the under. Chicago's plus 110 on the money line. Porter and Levine are questionable for Chicago, so that's certainly a big blow to them if those guys can't participate. More specifically, Zach LaVine. So we'll have to take a look at that. If you want action on this game or you're interested in this particular matchup, you got to keep an eye out for LaVine and his status tonight. But anyway, Chicago, 2-1 against the number in their last 3, 6-4 ATS in their last 10, taking on Washington. So if you're anticipating Levine playing tonight, these are pretty good trends in your favor. And Washington, of course, they're ranking last in road points allowed. They're giving up 120 points per contest when traveling this year. So I'm going to cap this game as if Levine will be in the lineup. Give me Chicago plus 2.5, getting the job done against the number at home, and the under 233 in that matchup there. Next game, Rockets, Grizzlies, 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Memphis. Houston open 4.5, total 216. We're seeing movement downward on the spread and upward on the total. We're now looking at -4 and 216.5. So once again, the Rockets open 4.5, down to -4. Total open 216, up to 216 and a hook. 89% are leaning Houston, 57% shaded toward the over. Avery Bradley is questionable for Memphis. They lost their last 2 straight. They're also 0-2 against the number in that same category, and they failed to cover in their 3 head-to-head matchups with Houston this season. Memphis ranks dead last in home scoring, and they also rank dead last in shooting the 3 ball at home as well. Now, Houston, on their side of things, a little bit of a different story. They rank 8th in road scoring, 5th in defending the 3 ball. They are 12-1 straight up in their last 13, and they are 3-0 against the spread, taking on Memphis this year, as I indicated earlier. Now, total-wise, Houston 60% to the under on the road. Memphis 61% to the under when the line was over 205. Give me Houston -4 and the under 216.5 in that matchup there. Next game, Miami Heat at the Spurs, 8:30 tip-off in San Antonio. The Spurs are -6, total open 208.5 up to 209. 66% are leaning San Antonio, 72% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Miami Heat are plus 220 on the money line. Winslow and McGrudon are both out for Miami. They also rank 25th in road scoring and dead last in road free throw percentage. Now, San Antonio's red hot right now, 9-game winning streak, 9-0 straight up in their last 9 games, 6-0 against the number in their last 6. They are 24-12 against the spread on their home court. Now, San Antonio ranks first from the stripe, first in shooting the 3 ball, and second in offensive field goal percentage. We're looking at 48% in that category there. When it comes to the total, San Antonio's 4-0 to the over in their games that tipped off at the current posted total as well. Give me San Antonio -6 and the over 209 in that matchup there. Next game, Raptors, Thunder. 9:30 tip-off at OKC. Thunder open 4.5, total 223. We're seeing movement both upward on the spread and the total in this matchup here. -5, 223.5. So once again, OKC open 4.5 up to -5. Total open 223 up to 223 and a hook. Right now, Toronto's plus 150 on the money line. Lowry is questionable for the Raptors. Now, Ibaka is expected to play coming off that suspension. Should be in the game tonight. And speaking of suspension, Russell Westbrook expected to play tonight for OKC as well, coming off of suspension. Nerlens Noel, questionable for OKC as well. Nerlens Noel, still in the league. Unbelievable. But anyway, actually not doing too bad. But, okay, like a couple seasons ago when he was at the Sixers, it wasn't looking too promising for the guy. But, hey, Nerlens Noel, got to root for the guy. Likeable guy. Anyway, OKC, I felt so bad for him, like, what was it, 2-3 seasons ago when, like, the Sixers were tanking and he still wasn't getting time. And, like, he was one of their better talents. But anyway, OKC, 23-11 straight up on their home court. They have covered 3 out of their last 6 before Westbrook was suspended. OKC ranks 6th in scoring, 2nd in offensive rebounding. Now, Toronto on the other side, well, they're just 4-6 straight up in their last 10 taking on OKC. If you're into historical trends, Toronto's also 14-21 against the spread away from home. So out of their last 35 games when traveling, they've only covered 14 of them. Toronto's also dropped 7 out of their last 14 straight up as the dog. Now, when it comes to scoring, Toronto is 7-2 to the over in their last 9. So I'm going to lean toward OKC in this matchup here. Give me OKC -5 and the over 223.5 in that matchup there. Next and final game for our NBA slate, it is going to be Dallas at Portland, 10 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Rip City. Portland open -11, total 217. We're seeing movement downward on the spread and upward on the total. Right now, Portland's -10, total 217.5. So once again, the Blazers opened 11 down to -10, total open 217 up to 217.5. 55% are leaning Portland, 81% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Mavs are plus 410 on the money line. Maxi Kleber is questionable for the Mavs. Dallas is also just 1-8 straight up in their last 9. 3-6 ATS in their last 9 as well. They're ranked 27th in offensive field goal percentage. We're looking at just 44% in that category there. Now the Blazers rank 2nd in home offensive rebounding. They also rank 4th in home defensive rebounding and 2nd in the NBA from the stripe. Now total-wise, Portland's 5-4 to the over in their last 9. Dallas 4-3 to the over in their last 7. Give me the Blazers -10 in the over 217.5 in that matchup there. All right, let's take a look at some college basketball. A couple play-in games here. Only going to cover the 2 play-in games, although we do have other college action tonight. But anyway, let's take a look at the NC Central Eagles taking on the North Dakota State Carson Wentz's NDSU Bison, and that's going to be a 6:40 tip-off at the UD